Good morning, everyone. This is Lightning Leadership. I'm so excited to connect this morning. With me is Kristen Cooper. Kristen Cooper is CEO and founder of the Startup Ladies. She's also a frequent subscriber writer to the Indianapolis Business Journal. Kristen, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Teresa.
Absolutely. I've been excited to have you on. I've been following you and your organization for years. And just from a thought leadership perspective, I don't think there's anybody else quite like you. So thank you for coming on. So, Kristen, I have to ask, what was your Zap moment? When did you first realize that you were a leader?
I had no Zap moment. I have consistent experiences coming into conversations with people. Sometimes they're informal, sometimes they're very formal, where I arrive wanting to get to know the human, get to know the organization or the project, and then I always have an infinite number of questions about both the people, the organization, and processes. And oftentimes I arrive in those conversations thinking that I'm only there to play a support role.
Mm-hmm.
And through my career path, ended up in leadership positions because I came to those conversations with lots of questions and was trying to connect the dots in a way that allowed others to reveal what they were capable of, and allowing myself, I think without intention a lot of the time, revealing what I could bring to both people, projects, processes, and organizations.
Fabulous. Thank
So
you so
no
much.
lightning moment for me.
But it's that level of inquisitiveness, right? It's the seek to understand and then ask the evolving questions.
Yes.
I think that's key. I think I have a bit of that in me just naturally.
Sure.
And so I just seek to understand first and really want to get to know the challenges that people are facing so I can solve them.
Yes.
Right?
I think anyone who comes from a sales background has a combination of being naturally like that. And then if you've gone through some great training, you're definitely going to have adopted ways in which you can be in spaces to learn as much as you can. And if you're excited about solving problems
Mm-hmm.
and you have a natural ability to connect with people, then I think that really cool moments can happen, which can lead to big transformational changes. And that to me is what's so exciting, particularly in the world of the startup ladies.
Very cool. Very cool. So
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about, I know we don't have this on plan, but tell me a little bit about the Startup Ladies. I'd love to have the audience learn a little bit more about what you're doing because I've been so impressed over the years.
Well, thank you for asking. The Startup
Yeah.
Ladies is a membership organization with the sole purpose of increasing the number of women who are starting up scalable companies and helping them secure funding to grow. So we have three kinds of members. Entrepreneurs, they come to us at different stages. Our goal is to help them to go from idea to market to growth. We
Okay.
have investor members, while we have a couple of professional individual angel investors and firms. The overwhelming majority of our investor members are wealthy individuals who have the financial capacity to write checks of at least $5,000 or more,
Okay.
have a heart for women business owners, and want to see them get the same resources that their male counterparts have been getting for hundreds of years. Then
Yeah.
we have corporate executives who provide ancillary services to startups, and in some cases are looking to buy startups. So it's a nice little ecosystem. And the big problem we're trying to solve is that women are grossly undercapitalized. And so we exist to change that. Started 10 years ago as a meetup, 3 years later became an LLC. And last month we just celebrated our 10th year anniversary. And so we're very proud of the work we've done in helping women founders secure what we call first money. First money can be right out of the gate, it can be 10 years later, but it's that money that you first take on from friends, family, and arm's length acquaintances that is going to allow you to hire people so that you can scale. So
Perfect.
that's the Startup Ladies.
I love it. And congratulations on your 10-year anniversary. That's huge.
Thank
That's
you.
huge.
Thank you.
So the topic of today is custodial versus transformative leadership.
Yes.
Differences. Tell us more.
Yes. So I will tell you, the first time I heard the concept of distinguishing between custodial leadership versus transformational leadership was from a friend I got to know when I was a fundraiser at Butler University. His name is Lou Tharp. I had the great honor of working with him to create the first LGBTQ scholarship at Butler University.
That's
and
cool.
He himself is an entrepreneur and, in my opinion, a great leader. And we were talking one day about a job opening that we were both involved with in some capacity. And we were having the conversation about the right type of person to fill the role. And in both of our opinions at the time, it would have been great to have somebody who was truly a transformational leader, somebody that was going to come in, develop a vision if they didn't have one already, and then do the types of things that will be great for the combination of customers. And in this case, customers were both employees and the people paying money to the institution to receive services. What the institution actually needed at the time was a custodial leader, someone who is a true caretaker. And a custodial leader is someone who can have vision. However, they are more committed to the preservation of the way things are. And that's not a bad thing. And I think it's worth saying that one is not better than the other. And it's a topic that no one talks about. And it's something that needs a lot more attention because most companies need custodial leaders. They need people to believe in what the company is selling. They need them to believe in the product or service. They need them to complement the other leaders and not necessarily rock the boat to the point where there is a lot of conflict. Custodial leaders, generally speaking, tend to want to be in organizations for a long period of time. One of the things they have to be careful with is sometimes custodial leaders are conflict avoidant, and conflict, when managed well, can be something that can propel relationships forward, both internally and externally. So custodial leaders are your go-to people, truthfully, most of the time. I don't think they get the recognition. I don't think that our American society has done a great job of saying you can have a vision for what we need you to do in this role. And also, we need you to preserve so much of what has been built to this moment in time. A transformational leader is someone that I deal with on a regular basis in the Startup Ladies space. The persona of a transformational leader is someone who most certainly is naturally inquisitive, someone who typically is highly educated. And again, this is just within the Startup Ladies community. They became some type of industry expert, identified a problem, came up with a solution, and man, they cannot let go of that problem. They are passionate about understanding the problem and not just making the assumption that they know all the answers to the problem. They're so passionate about the problem, they are willing to validate and invalidate the assumptions they have about the problem so that they can define a solution that truly works for the company. Transformational leaders are inevitably going to be in spaces of conflict with peers, with investors, with fellow leaders, sometimes even with customers. Not the I'm better than you or my idea is better than you. But transformational leaders see the problem and are so committed to trying to solve for it that they prioritize that over keeping things the way they are.
Okay.
And so I think both types of leaders are extraordinarily important. In the startup world, you truly need to be a transformational leader. And to be truthful, most of the people that I get to meet are by design custodial leaders. And
Okay.
until you have awareness about that, and if you're willing to transform yourself into a transformational leader, it's one of the indicators that your company probably could dissolve if you pursue building a company like a custodial leader.
Yeah. You have to take the risks, right? You see the challenges, you see the problems, you take the risk to solve. When you were kind of explaining that, so much of, the background in leadership, I think, was thinking of conflict resolution, having great EQ and great communication skills, the ability to influence and persuade. I mean, you're going to need them in both roles, but I
Sure.
would think that the secondary one would be absolutely key. I mean, you can't walk into a transformation leadership role without having some of those things off the charts.
Absolutely. Well, you couldn't be more accurate in the sense that transformational leaders really need followings of different varieties, right? They need
Mm,
a following of people within the marketplace. They need the market. The market is a group of people who want, need, and are willing to purchase the product or service. The market has to say, "Oh my gosh, your solution is what I need, and I'm going
yeah.
to pay for it. I'm going to spend time and money on your solution." So that's the highest form of validation a company can get. And then within your employee base, if there's constant conflict, I mean, that's just an environment that is not psychologically safe. So that doesn't work. So
No.
of course, a transformational leader needs to think about what are the needs of the employees that are helping to build the company and solve the problems that the company exists to solve for. And then of course the leadership team, right? There's healthy doses of conflict that a leadership team can be in. But if there's backstabbing, if there are political agendas, I mean, that doesn't work. So
No.
then it's, where is this the leader that do we need a custodial leader, or do we need a transformational leader that's going to have to make changes? The beauty of startups is you're starting from scratch.
Yep.
So in many cases, startup founders have been in very toxic environments. You hope that they've been in really healthy environments, so they have a basis of comparison.
Yes.
And then if not, what they need to do is they need an advisory board of people that can be strengths where they in fact are weak. I mean, through the last few decades, I've always had, whether it's a personal board of advisors or a professional board of advisors, always have those folks, because I'm very good at knowing what I'm not great at. And I need the people who are great around me, giving me the feedback about what we need to do a little bit differently.
Perfect. Kristen, thank you so much for coming on today. If somebody's interested in reaching out to Kristen, please feel free from a LinkedIn perspective to ping her. From a Spotify, YouTube, check us out on LinkedIn. Follow, subscribe, like. And again, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time today.
Thank you, Teresa, and lots of good luck to you.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.